So good morning all of you. Today's module, rather sub-module, what we are going to discuss is about the importance of internet and various softwares which are there for disaster management, and the impact of GIS, GPS and remote sensing on disaster management and its applications. So people have done a lot of work. GIS is a very, you can say, vast area. What we are going to do is we are going to just touch the tip of an iceberg today about GIS, its concept and how it can be used for this disaster management. The websites which you have seen the other day, Bhuvan and all other these websites, those are GIS based websites. Even your applications which you use in a mobile, the Arogya Setu app which is there, and many all other apps, even Swiggy and all these apps, these are all disaster GIS based. And also the Google Earth. I'll show you small demos today. We'll see demos of various apps and all, or various websites rather, for the disaster management. So starting with what exactly, why exactly is required, there's a small presentation. Fine. So there is a small presentation by Digital India Action Group. They have given a small white paper. This paper, of course, is of 2016. So the current pandemic is not discussed in that, but still you'll get a lot of things and how it is managed, because a lot of work is done for this pandemic. The GIS based works, the various apps have been developed for this corona tracking and all. So, but still, in this, some you can say hints are given how it is going to be developed and all. Uh, Fine. So, Internet of Things for effective disaster management. How the Internet of Things can be used. Internet of Things mean it not only includes internet, but all the applications and all which can be used for disaster management. There's a small brief about them, about the government, how they are helping them. So what is discussed here is, of course, the introduction, background, disaster management policies, and all we have discussed. We'll deal with module 3, 4, and the 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll deal majorly with them. So background and all, you know about the vulnerability and all we have discussed in module 2. And then this legal framework also we have discussed in this module. I'll not go into much detail. Fine. We'll start with this. So ICT-led interventions for disaster management of India. So ICT means what? Information and communication technologies play a vital role in planning, prevention, preparedness, mitigation, and response to disaster. All the phases the ICT is required. The ICT can play a role in the following phases: disaster risk minimization and prevention, monitoring disaster possibilities through satellite communication and GIS, designing early warning system, biosurveillance system. The geo, or like rather the hazard which we are dealing with right now, the pandemic, it is a type of biosurveillance system. You can put people are surveyed. Even this Arogya Setu app and all what they do now, because based on your location and all, na, it gives you and it makes you aware of whatever is in the vicinity, and many other certain assets, similar apps are there. Na? I think some governments have, some state governments have developed very good apps for this surveillance, and through them, what is done? Proper corona tracking and all is done, and hence people are made more. You can say the proper. You can say people are made more aware of their vicinity, and also the government is able to track the people, and hence the proper tracking and hence management can be done. Use of social media for awareness creation and all this can be done. Hence, this is most important, because look, even if a person is poor, he comes from a poor background. In almost every household, you will find If you leave out some tribal areas and all, if in almost every household you will find at least one mobile phone. Even it is a simple mobile phone, it may not be a high-end smart mobile phone that we all people have, but they still have some mobile phone of, so at least receiving messages and all. So at least the ICT should be used to convey the messages. Some simple calling and all should be done. The calling which was not possible now, because landline and all phones were not possible to reach even the mobile, even the rural households. But now the mobile technology, what they have done, it has led to a, we can say, it has done a very extensive reach to the people even in the remotest of places. So one is disaster risk minimization prevention. Second is disaster preparedness. Use of e-learning for training on disaster management. Various modules, various trainings are given. Even Indian government NIDM use various trainings. I'll give a short list of trainings. Maybe today we'll not be able to cover all of this. So maybe on Wednesday we'll discuss about the various trainings which are given. But uh, the various trainings are very good. Trainings are given. Provide online access to vital information on disaster preparedness to citizens. Relief asset management softwares. And the third thing is disaster response, emergency communication for timely relief and response measures, and also in disaster recovery, online missing person search, fund management system for donors, and all these things that this ICT tools are extensively used. So best practices in ICT in emergency and disaster management. What best practices are there, and how they can be further improved? It is discussed in a short this in a short uh, in a very short paragraphs they are discussed. So in integrated emergency management is based on comprehensive approach that enables visibility, cooperation and interoperability across all emergency organizations at all levels. Interoperability means interoperability means one tool should be interoperable with one another. Like if you have an app, say in your mobile, if you have an Arogya Setu app, it should be interoperable with other apps, similar apps which are developed, so that the tracking is possible. It is not possible that everybody will have Arogya Setu app in his phone, in his or her phone. So how will you able to know which person is suffering from what? So it is better that not only the Arogya Setu but other similar apps which are there, which should be interoperable, which should be linked, and so the data can be shared through these apps, and then hence the tracking and you can say proper precautions can be done. The primary objective is to optimize prevention, preparation, response, and recovery from any emergency, regardless of the cause, size, location, or chemistry or complexity. So here the word any emergency is important, because not only, look, previously they had not envisaged that something of this magnitude biohazard will be there. People were just thinking that even we had biohazards in the past. We have the you can say swine flu, bird flu, and all these viruses were there. But the impact which the coronavirus is having is beyond the, you can say, imagination of people. Also in 1919, there was a one type of flu was there, Spanish flu, which was there around 100 years back. So that flu was there. It caused havoc, but people were not traveling that much that frequently, and even they are traveling, they had means whoever the tracking and all was not possible, right? So it led to a lot of havoc. Today, what is happening is we still have the technology, we have everything, but still we are not able to prevent the spread of the virus. So this needs to be, a lot of research needs to be done. A lot of research, you can say, component is there in this particular domain, and some of you may take a research on this domain, how these apps and can be developed and how it can be made more disaster, or how ICT tools can be more developed so that the disaster by hazard especially is avoided. Integrated emergency management is best achieved through the creation of single repository of information for planning, preparation, response, and recovery. This shared data resource must serve many parties. By parties in the sense, it should have a wholesome, you can say, wholesome approach, or wholesome, you can say, reach, so that all the emergency services, not only the people, not only citizens, but all the emergency services, including the governmental organizations as well as the non-governmental organizations. Private infrastructure operators and community groups they should be linked. Information repository means what? Repository means a collection. Like in the library, we have a repository. Library repository means what? Repository means Library is a repository means what? Library, the collection of books. Likewise, the information in the repository. Na? The other day we had seen the India Disaster Resource Network, na? India IDRN, which we saw. It had a repository of various states, various districts having different resources, different you can say human resource, different materials, but still it is not updated. It is not updated for certain cities. That also we saw. So it should be secure. Secure means nobody should be able to fiddle with it. Only the government authorized person should be there. Otherwise, what will happen? Some people may hack it, and they may lead to certain additional deletions of data, which is not advisable. Accessible, accessible to all relevant people, and relevant for many different users. Like we saw, it was open for end users like the citizens, but also it should be open to whoever people are there who are, and maybe some more information should be there for the emergency management staff. The data must also be coherently integrated so that it enables end-to-end support for, like, coherent integrated means what? All people involved in the emergency services should be able to input their data. Like say if I am the person responsible for entering data for the district disaster management authority in case of the Mumbai city, you know. So I should be able to enter, as well as somebody from other districts. Everybody should be able to enter the data. So it should be secured. At the same time, it should be coherently integrated, and any change made by me should be reflected across all other persons. So, for many stakeholders involved in the across the full lifetime of emergency, from planning, preparation to emergency response and to recovery, even if the primary sources of information include diverse systems, databases, applications, safety sensors, a well-integrated solution framework can serve as an operation hub that helps to effectively manage an emergency. uh, Look, there are very heavy sentences and all, no? But if you just break down these sentences, you'll understand the importance of each word. So, primary sources of information means what? The basic information. It should include diverse systems, databases, diverse systems, and what systems they are. Suppose I want to know what systems are there. So what systems are there? What are the manpower resources? What are the materials? What are the equipments? Databases, applications, safety sensors, and all. It should include well integrated solution framework that can serve as an operational hub that helps to effectively manage an emergency or disaster in every phase. And this is important. An open collaboration platform. Open collaboration platform means open to all. It should not have restriction. Like nobody has to pay for that, for using that app. Suppose Arogiti Setu app, if the government or if any private player develops it, and if people are said to pay for it, what will happen? It will not work, because in disaster it should be open to all. It should be an open collaboration platform. Also enables team members to make decisions based on, because the team members will get to know that who all is there with a particular, and what are the problems at different locations, and a predefined business rules. Accurately and timely uniform information can be supplied. One approach for all disaster agencies. Because emergencies arrive in many forms, they often require a whole government approach that includes community involvement. Despite high levels of commitment, poor coordination between different stakeholders is the greatest impediment. Greatest impediment is greatest barrier. Although, like, it is very true in the current case, despite high levels of commitment, we have everything. We have the Disaster Management Act has made it mandatory for all districts to have. So in 2016, we have the District Disaster Management Authority. Everything is developed. We have seen such a wonderful document yesterday. Everything is there in place. But still, due to poor coordination between different stakeholders, is the greatest impediment to effective disaster management. What is needed is an all hazards, all agencies approach that spans government agencies and the community groups to address a full range of potential emergencies. Traditionally, capabilities to support emergencies and management have been developed by individual agencies and optimized for agency-specific goals and outcomes. So many support management systems have been developed in India, although the development is not there. But if you compare with a developed country like US, they have many apps, they have many, you can say, agencies, NGOs which are working towards development, but still the coronavirus spread could not be prevented. Why? Because they took it lightly. Even though India was very serious from the initial stages, they were very serious. Of course, if you see the where even the primitive stages, India was not that serious. You know? We were serious only after March 22nd, but the first case was observed on January in India. But still, if maybe the tracking and all was done a bit before, maybe we had have saved a lot of lives. But still, India was serious at least from March. US and all, they were not serious until late, say, April. They were there, but many people had not imposed any lockdown or something like that, which India did. But still, it could have been, we would have been better served if still the lockdown was imposed a lot earlier. Because what happened was many cases were undetected, and even though the cases which were there, which are very low, we had only said in the initial days, in the initial 3 months, we had only about 1,000 cases. But still, the contact tracing and all could not, because we did not know, we did not have data of where the people were and how the coronavirus spread. So data was missing. The US had all the data, but still it led to a lot of, because it took it very casually that the impact would not be there too much. Only until late April and all they realized its severity, and they started proper, you can say, lockdown and all these things. So traditional capabilities to support emergency management services have been developed. This is so many capability development and all is done, but still what is happening is still what is happening mechanical students, again, Hasnain has shared you how to create your uh, institute login IDs and all. I request you to all just create that ID, so that what happens now, you can directly join in without me stopping and allowing. It causes a lot of disturbance. So, examples of this cross emergency similarity can include early warning, evacuation. So, cross emergency similarity means what? It should be it should be interoperable. No, one software, one application should be interoperable with other, and it should send signals, or it should send some warnings that this is there, this particular thing will be there. So again, early warning, evacuation, resource deployment, especially in cyclones and flood, no, sudden onset type of disasters, earthquakes and all. So this can be done. And community coverage. This said, many emergencies do not require specific prevention response, and like many emergencies like drought is there, it will not require specific prevention response and recovery actions. Of course, you can have certain you can say parameters which can aid the response and aid the prevention, but still, right, still the, you can say, the sudden onset disasters are more, they require more of, say, more management than the, you can say, slowly spreading disasters. All agencies approaches are built around the undeniable fact that emergencies often require multi-agency. Multi-agency means many people have to be involved: the government, the NGOs, the police, है ना? The emergency medical staff, the hospitals, the private players, multi-jurisdictional, many districts, many states. Na? So this is also important, and multidisciplinary coordination. Even though emergency management services may vary from agency to agency, common tasks typically include ensuring continuity of service and mitigating risks for the community, the environment, and the assets of and personnel means the human resource of the agency. Interoperability is the facility through the adoption of common procedures, training, planning, and procurement of various resources. So, hence the proper this document, this policy, na, Indian Disaster Management Policy of 2009. Let's given various guidelines, and training should be taken from these people. So that what happens is, there is a common platform, and there is no chaos and confusion for specific disasters. So it's done. Collaboration to project protect property and lives. An open application platform and information base benefits all emergency management stakeholders. So open application should be there so that it should be accessible for all stakeholders by optimizing alignment around planning, collaboration, capability building, training, structure, and assets. IT solutions help accelerate responses and minimize losses by enabling better data sharing, improved interagency operability, and greater engagement in communities. Improved community involvement and services through managed programs and bi-directional community channels is important. The main thing is the communication, and communication should be the grassroots level with the community members. So of course they are cut off in certain disaster, na, they are cut off from the general public. So these people should be the communication, proper communication should be reached. uh, that the help is coming or you should take this route or something like that should be there, so that the people are aware and they are helped or they are at least the tragedy is minimized. Improved integration of silo applications and databases, enabling better cross agency data at lower cost. So also, of course, this is important. Various applications and should be developed from the government side, so that of course there should be lower cost, because of course a lower cost to the government, not for the public. For the public, it should be totally free, and for the government also it should be lower cost. Should be an open source platform, so that what happens? First thing, it should be secure. Second thing, it should be open source, so that whatever, because they have to maintain it, they have to run it. If the cost is more, they have to spend more, and it will again lead to a lot of utilization of a lot of funds from the disaster management, and hence it is not advisable. So it should be better data management and the lower cost is appreciated. So provision of federated, timely and coherent information base that covers all emergency phases and serves all stakeholders. Enhance cross-organization and multidisciplinary interoperability, allowing response teams to address a wide variety of hazards. Shorter decision cycles and better informed decision making based on comprehensive, current and relevant information. Improved access to valuable analytics and reports. This is important. Various statistics and all should be there with the governmental and as well as non-governmental agencies as constraint on analyzing large data volumes, structured and unstructured remote. Especially this is important in this current pandemic. Because we should have data. If there is no data, what will happen? A chaotic situation will be there. Increase responsiveness to emergency situations, like through efficient deployment of resources and provision of role, locations, situation, specific information on the map. So again, the architecture, how the architecture of the ICT tool should be there. This is given. They have developed the organization which has presented this paper has developed. So you can see. So prevent, effective prevention and mitigation, what infrastructure protection, how monitoring should be there, how hazard mitigation should be there, research, investigation and research should be there, inspection should be there. So what apps can be developed in this domain? Certain apps can be, so every domain should have some modules of, or some apps should be integrating every of these modules. Hmm? So for preparation, how the community should be aware, how strategies should be deployed, everything is there, and the ICT tool should be taken. Every phase should be covered, and it should be integrated in the government portal. So that Bhuvan portal is there. It's very good. I'll again show small more demonstration. The other day we have seen the demonstration of the rainfall of Bihar, the flood of Bihar. Today we'll see certain more demonstrations which are there in the Bhuvan portal. Of course, it is a very vast portal. Not it is not possible for me to cover each and everything, but still it is a very good, you can say, tool. You can go yourself, you just explore. You go today, you just do 2 tasks at your home. You have, at your leisure time, you can just go to the Google website and you can go to Google Earth. 2 tasks you can do today, um, and you can just explore those 2 things, because they have tremendous potentials. Government web portal, mobility, database, and technology, cloud and analytics. Cloud means what? It should be stored in the cloud. Means the capacity, there should be not no limit in the storage capacity. Like if we store in a computer and all, you will have some TB or some maybe some 100 GB memory, and you cannot store large volumes of data. But if it is a cloud storage, the data can be stored seamlessly. ICT initiatives in disaster management in India. So we have discussed this IDRN, and we have also seen the website. So it gives this is the website portal and gives various various resources in district every quarter, every corner of the country. The various resources are there. So it is an online inventory. You can just go to the website like your library, you have the online repository. If you want to search about what to do, just type the name in the advanced search and the list is there, and you just get to know where it is issued, or it is in the library. So if it is not issued, what you can do, you can either book from the portal itself against your name and then go and issue, or they can just go to the library and then can issue the books. So like the repository is there. Similarly, the repository for the pan India, all the resources for disaster management is made, and of course it is not updated properly. Otherwise, if this is updated, it will be a wonderful tool for disaster management. So again, you can see the idea and how it works. It has a database at the center. Database as home affairs. है ना? So the various members are there which are involved in the from the corporate sector for developing and running the tool, है ना? For running the applications. In the state, we have district levels. Then there are various departments where uploading information. Everything is done and everything is well maintained. So GIS in disaster management. GIS is a very important tool. I'll show you a small presentation on GIS, what it is. The deployment of a national database for emergency management (NDM) has been taken up. So this is the presentation of 2016. So it has many modules have been developed in this. It is a GIS based repository to data to support disaster emergency management in the country. NDMA, so even Bhuvan and all, these are all GIS based tools. I'll show a small demonstration of Bhuvan. So NDM aims to organize multi-scale geospatial database and develop of a decision support system. Decision support system means there are various web-based decision support systems. Na? What should be done in what case? So decision support systems are there for disaster management. Bhuvan is the single largest web GIS portal by the Indian space. ISRO has developed it for free service over India, allowing 2D and 3D visualization. So it's a very good website. I request you all to just go to this website. Bhuvan, you just type Bhuvan in Google. The first thing which will come will be the website. It will direct you to the website. You go to the website, you can get various data and services. Not only in disaster management, but as various portals even for your projects and all. If your project is geographically referenced, if you are doing work which is geographically referenced, you can use this Bhuvan portal for compiling or for using the data, because it has various data visualization. Street map overlays are there. Of course, there is one more database which is OpenStreetMap, which is also a very wonderful tool which you can use. Services for land use, land cover, flood, inundations. These all services there. What is the land use? What is the built up area? What is the agriculture area? Everything is there based on remote sensing they have developed. Land cover, flood, inundations. Land use generally deals with buildings. Land cover deals with the agricultural crops and all. Flood inundations, geo hazards, and other services. So very good portal is developed. States also have built, even states have built geoinformatics definition support system. This is a national system. Similarly, all states have some systems which are built. The flagship program of Digital India also has mission project on GIS. So Digital India, which had a boom say some 2-3 years back. Now the certainly it has, you can say, not that much developed as it was envisaged in 2016, but still a lot of scope is there, and a lot of things can be done for developing this digital India concept to a way that everything we are towards developing of smart cities, no? And not only smart cities, we should have in India smart villages. Everything should be smart, because what should be done, what the concept of smart cities and all is there. Of course, the management and other aspects are there of the cities, the solid waste management, everything is there, है ना? The delivery and all of essentials, everything is there. But in also in case of disaster management, the smart cities, what they do is early warning systems, and the, the governmental agencies and all should be involved, and everything is done, and so that the people are living in a safer and a better environment. So of course, the national communication emergency communication plan and all this is conceived. So you have seen the various emergency operating centers and all. These all things are developed. So in ways finance is sanctioned and all for the development of the ICT tools. So ICT has been used to the advantage by Indian state and district administration as big facilitators in management of disasters. So it was used in flood management of Bihar. The Sahana disaster management system. I will show you the Sahana disaster management system of the web portal. Very simple web portal is there. So states like Orissa, Gujarat have set up community level disasters. So Gujarat has developed a very good application even for Corona. Gujarat has developed, and even say Madhya Pradesh, Indore and all this Indore city and all have developed very good applications for this disaster Corona management. Mobile-based crowdsourcing app was developed and used in cyclone management by government of Andhra Pradesh. So this was also very good initiative. Bhuvan app of ISRO facilitated. So ISRO, the Bhuvan not only website but the app is also there. So in the Nepal earthquake it was extensively used. And I'll also show the post disaster. I think I had shown you also the post disaster and pre-disaster. So impact of the earthquake, and hence people were able to estimate the damage. So globally also various technologies are there. The American Red Cross is using digital operation centers for ensuring relief and rescue materials. So again, these things are there. Internet of Things, how it is important. Will not go too much in detail because it is in general how it is built and all, no? How how the module themselves are developed, and the software how it is developed and all this they have discussed in this. We'll discuss about the GIS. Flood real time monitoring and all how it is done. Canal, there will be some sensors. Reservoirs, there will be sensors, and if the water is above level, what will be done? It will be sent to a system. No? The governmental agencies and all, the sensor will tell them. No? Now nobody is going to going there and measuring there manually, seeing irrigation engineer will go and see that this level is there. It should be say 150 150.5 meters. It is going above the high flood level. There should be automatic sensors. Though even the rainfall it is any time some cloud burst is there, then also the sensors should be done and they should inform. So there should be some warning which should pop up, and then the real time data platform should be there. The station in charge should be informed and he should disseminate the information to the various levels, and hence the disaster should be managed. So these all things are there. Now I'll quickly go to GIS. All of you know what GIS is? At least civil students may be knowing because they have a subject surveying in which a small part of GIS was there. But still, for mechanical students, I'm just running this small presentation of say 8 to 10 slides on GIS. So introduction to GIS. So GIS is nothing but an information system that is used to input. It is an information system, geographical information system. This word is most important in it. Information. What level of information is there in GIS that needs to be understood. More the information, better you can manage the disaster. Fine. So it is an information system that is used to input, store. Input means people should be able to input the data, store the data, retrieve the data when that is required, manipulate, analyze that, manipulate and analyze. Manipulate means what? Work on the data and derive some work on the data, and you can say there are some data like the warning system is there. Based on that warning system, you should manipulate the data so that it should be processed. Analyze means what? Work on the data that this much rainfall is there. The sensor is showing. Suppose in the case of the floods, the sensor is showing me that this much rainfall is there. So what should be the message which should go at the downstream side, the villages which are there in the downstream side. So the data should be analyzed. Or say in case of an earthquake in an ocean, the earthquake, the Richter scale has measured some earthquake, some sensors are there, or some tsunami warning system has measured something. So what information should be, that warning should be analyzed. What happened in the Japan earthquake, the warning was there, people knew that there is an earthquake, but they severely underestimated that earthquake. They thought that an earthquake of a magnitude of say 7 to 8 will be there, but it was above 9. It was around 9.1 or 9.2, something like that. So they underestimated, and the tsunami waves which were there, they had created various barriers for preventing the tsunami to reach the cities. But it just overwhelmed the capacity, and it was just people were not evacuated, and hence so many thousand people lost their lives. So even the warning is there, warning systems were there, but still the warnings were not too much. So this is important. So output geographically referenced data or geospatial data. Geographical reference means location based reference. Geographically reference means location based. Location based referencing should be there. What location, what type of problems are going to be there, and geospatial data varying in the space. This should be there. So for planning and management of land use, natural resources, environment, transportation, urban facilities, and other registered records to manage. So key components you can see GIS has a computer system which has hardware. Computer hardware should be there. The software should be there, isn't it? Like GIS, there are various GIS softwares like QGIS and ArcGIS and many other tools, and there should be a procedure, and it should be a computer system, so it should have data and should have users at the other end. So GIS themes, you can just see these are various themes. If I want the map of a city, I have the map of the city. I have some location of parks. I have some location of streets. I have some location of malls, no? And the resulting map should be looking like that. So this is the map. I should be able, if I'm interested in the parks. I will just they are layers, no? These are, if you just see carefully, these are layers. और then I will just superimpose the layers. I will just मैं क्या करूँगा मैप पे जाके layers को superimpose करूँगा. I will remove the layers. I will add layers which I am interested. If I want to concerned, if I am concerned about the roads, if I am concerned only about the streets, I want to reach the disaster. The aid should be reaching a particular house in this place. The disaster has struck. So I am concerned about the street. So I will just open the street map. If I'm concerned with the parks, I will open the park map and I will remove the street map. Fine. Likewise, GIS has the two type of data is there. One is attribute data, characteristic data, and one is spatial data. Spatial data means it will show you on the map. And you all know what spatial coordinates are there in the space, x, y, z coordinates. It will show in the map. And one is attribute, like how old, like suppose a tree is to be located. I will locate the tree here, but how old is the tree? What is the location or what is the width of the tree? And these are things. So like say in this case they have given this is the state. This is the presentation which is the previous presentation of 2011. So maybe this data is the Jammu and Kashmir you are seeing here. It is Jammu Kashmir and Ladakh now currently. So the state Jammu Kashmir is there. The state capital Srinagar is there. Na? So nowhere here the area and all is mentioned. So it should have attributes also located. Here only the spatial reference will be there, but attribute will give the same thing more like this point. What data it has had. The state name is Jammu Kashmir. The state capital is Srinagar. This is highlighted here. This Srinagar. The area is there. The country is there. More attributes you can put. You can just include the population. You can include the geography. You can include the topography. You can include the meteorological things. You can include the rainfall data and all. It can be just included, and just one click. If I just click here, the attribute should be popped up. Attribute data should be popped up, and it should give me. So this is linking is important. Streets also, which street is there, whether the parking is available. So just this street is there, In the, if I just have the map, I will not know the about. I will just know that the street is going. But if I have the IDs, the street ID is this section. It lies in this section. Its name is this. Its name is this. Its ID is this. What type of street is there? If it is a narrow street, it is a wide street. Parking is available in there or no? In what it lies? What is the slope? What is the drainage facilities at the street? And everything can be included. So of course there are three views of a GIS database. One is the map view, which we have discussed, model view and database view. So map view and database view we have seen. The model view we'll discuss. So what is a model? Model is a pattern, plan, representation or description designated to show the real object or workings of an object, system or a concept. So model is there. There is a theory, there is an abstraction, and there is a concept. So exactly what you want to show about the about the model means what is a representation of a, it is a representation of a physical, of a real thing. You know, there is something which is in real or imaginary thing which needs to be represented. Like there can be a model of a car, you know, model of a car is there. So the engines and all, they are very minute parts. So mechanical people, they will be developing a model, or it may be a, you can say digital model, it can be a, you can say also a physical model. So they will develop of a say small, which is machine element is there, or small thing which is there, or a say computer chip which is very small, but its model will be relatively big. Likewise, that if suppose a dam is there, na, civil people are interested in dam, so dam will physically be quite big, but if you want to simulate what will be the dam breaches and all, and what would be the problem in the dam, so you'll develop a small iconic model of a dam in the laboratory. So models represent physically what will be the physical thing. So in the real world scenarios, they will just represent it in terms of. So it is an abstraction of this is the real world. If these are two people, one is male, one is female. So this is concept theory, and then the model will be, it will be, the male will be represented in this way, because you cannot include the real world everywhere. There is now one more concept that one more concept is coming up in gaming and all, no? What is that? Virtual reality, you know? These all things are there, these all concepts are there. So again, this virtual reality is also a type of improved type of model, isn't it? Modeling and GIS, again, how to model, how to exist, building the databases, geoprocessing, and all these concepts are there. Will not go into. It should be able to. It should be able to run the queries, na? Like say, if I have model, if I have various databases of say, of a say city, a small city in say Dadar, in say small place called Dadar in Mumbai. So I should be able to run the database. It should give me all place, all say buildings which are, if I just run the query, that give me the buildings which are more than 60 years old. So it should display all only the buildings which are more than 60 years old, and give me all the buildings which are say more than 10 stories. So it should give me, so query running should be there, so it should be applicable. Like Swiggy and all, no, you may all be using Swiggy and Zomato, no? Now Swiggy, what it does now, also it also runs special queries, no, in the back. You are just seeing the interface, you are just seeing as an end user, you are seeing the interface, but the various queries are run in the back. Like if you type, no, I want only the hotels which are giving me 40% discount, and or 50% discount, or say I will just, even in Flipkart and all, when you do shopping, no, you do what, you do reference, or you do sorting from say low to high, and low to high, or say price low to high, or say based on the ratings, you do the, you do the you do the queries and all, and the queries are done, and then you're given the result. Similarly, these are all GIS based tools. These all ICT tools are all GIS based tools. They geographically reference also, based on the location and all. This Swiggy and all, it will give you a proper location. Based on that, in your vicinity only, you'll get to know the uh, hotels which are there. Sometimes they will be always also showing you, if you see in a search fee, a distance fee and all. These all concepts are there, because this still models they are developing and all, to make it more, because say some hotel is far, you may be feeling that no, I want the food from that hotel only. Understanding the concept, so the various queries can be run, and the model can be again developed, and it can be enhanced. So it should be able to run the schematic queries, the mathematical queries, the methodological queries should be there. Model for the abstraction of real world, virtual reality, and all these concepts are there. So conceptual, logical, and physical modeling should be there. Model to integrate several substances within the GIS. So again, GIS is known as Geographical or Geospatial Information System, Geomatics, Informatics, Information Technology, Geospatial Technology. So again, model tools are there? You can see geography, cartography. These all things are there which the GIS can be used. Functions of GIS. What things can be used? It can be used for data acquisition, mapping, pre-processing, data structure, database, spatial analysis, है ना, modeling, display, application, everything can be done for different domains. So it is an interrelated subsystem and system. So system means there should be a system which is an assemblage of entities, objectives, real, abstract, comprising a whole, and each and every component element relating and interacting to each another. System may be defined with simple words: a group of connected entities and activities interact for a common purpose. A subsystem is then a set of elements in a subsystem and a part of another whole system. GIS is a system group of integrated subsystems. Like there should be a communication subsystem, data processing subsystem, data analysis subsystem should be the information subsystem, management subsystem. Everything should be there. So, it is used for various purposes: urban management, disaster management, economical, educational purpose. Also, GIS is used, environmental, social infrastructure, and all. Uh, Ideal GIS, it should be open data policy. Information should be shared to all, standardization, data information sharing, networking people, multidisciplinary interoperable procedures, and all should be there. So it's 12, 11:53. So quiz will not take today. It's already 11:53. What I'll do is I'll share the link. Two more presentations I wanted to show in this GIS. Very important applications of GIS. Now we have seen the GIS, how the applications, various people, what applications they have done. So various researchers from India, especially IITs and SPC in Mumbai, they have done very good research. So I will present their cases, various cases of disaster management, and you will really comprehend the work which they have done.